Hey, good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, and it is Friday. Can y'all believe another week has come and gone, and here we are. The weekend is upon us. We'll get into the weather forecast here in just a moment. We are expecting the high to be somewhere around 93. The heat index will reach 105 again today. It's going to be strong. On top of all of this, late afternoon, we do have the chance of some severe weather that will be just north of Meridian, portions of Kemper County and Noxubee County, the exact counties that do not need any more rain. We also have a chance of flash flooding that we're going to go over. Again, counties that do not need this. We have to think about our neighbors who are in sad shape with all this flooding that we've had over the last 24 hours. More expected today. We'll show that on the maps here in just a second. A lot of prayers and a lot of folks displaced. And here's the bad thing I think each of us know with this. This is an area to where we really don't have flooding. And how many people actually have flood insurance? Probably very, very few. So folks are going to be displaced and lose a lot of items that cannot be replaced. Not with insurance, at least. That's what we're expecting. Already 6:33 this morning. Hope you got a smile. Let's head out and get a good, encouraging word. Let Brother Ben talk to us this morning. First Baptist Church there in Collinsville.
Apostle Paul has a line at the beginning of Romans 3 that I absolutely love. By the inspiration of the Holy Spirit, he exclaims, "Let God be true and every man a liar." That's a very Paul way of saying God can be trusted. What he says is true. What he's promised, he'll make good on. What he says is right, and what's wrong is wrong. Let God be true and every man a liar. In plain English, take God at his word. Believe God. Look, I don't care what your mom and daddy said. Believe God over them. Or your mama or your papa. Believe God over them. I don't care what that celebrity or politician said. Believe God over them. Forget about that teacher, that professor. Believe God over them. Whoever it is, believe God over them. Beloved, God is where true truth is found. So in your eyes, see God as true and see every man who disagrees with him as a liar. That'll protect you from falsehood and will revolutionize your life. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And a big thank you to Brother Ben. Again, if you need a church to go to, they'd love to have you beginning Sunday morning, Wednesday evenings. Not just finding a church. There's usually one within 10 to 15 minutes of your house. That's the way it is here in the South. As we begin this morning, again, I said we will cover our weather in just a moment. A few of the headlines that are shaping America today. This one kind of caught me off guard, but I guess after you sit back and think about this, it's true. Taylor Swift, she's being credited with boosting hotel revenues worldwide as her tour goes on of so many people turn out to go to her shows. Federal Reserve is even saying it. That's pretty big, isn't it? The girl from that, what was it? I seen Tim McGraw from there to where she is now. $200 million a year minimum probably at this point. Wow. Statistics. They say during the pandemic, they had more children coming in ERs nationwide due to sickness from marijuana during the pandemic. Overdose, even the little gummy bear things that, taking too many of them and other things. What's the world coming to? Montana. We go there. We don't hear a lot about Montana. Well, you'll see it in a Western every now and then. But they've withdrawn from the state library, from the National Library Group. And you say, why did they do that? Well, the new president of it got up and said that she was a Marxist and a lesbian and went on to speak. And they said, we just really don't want to be a part of this group anymore. And Montana has backed out of it. The largest group there is when it comes to librarians. They said, no, thank you. I'm sure it gets into deeper details of what was said during all of that. I don't think it was just a small thing, but it prompted them to go, we don't want it anymore. As we see this, it still continues today. January the 6th. How many years has it been since 2020? Is that right? We're at the 3-year mark. Federal government still chasing down those that attended that. They found another one. He was an ex-police chief. He attended. They're going to hit him with 4 charges. Although we can't arrest murderers.
Yeah, we can't do that.
Just Just a thought there. Mark Cuban, boy, this one really worried me. I was keeping up at night worried if this was going to happen. But, Odie, Mark Cuban has let us know that he is not going to run for president. Whew.
That's good because he's as liberal as they get.
Oh, is he liberal?
Oh, yeah.
I've only seen him for a couple of times on that. What is that Shark Tank thing? I don't know anything. And he owns a basketball team, doesn't he?
Yeah, Texas.
Texas, somebody? He's rich, we know that, but he's not going to run for president. He's not here to save us just yet. We go to Colorado, to one of the national parks. They have found 3 decomposing bodies at a campsite. We don't know the details or how they passed away, but that is the headlines this morning. This is interesting, and I guess in one sense, I read the headline and I thought, somebody has really not thought this out. And after I read the article, I see the point, but it will never happen. Usher, do y'all remember that singer? Yeah. A few years ago, he and his wife were boating, and his son was killed on a Georgia lake, the largest one there. He was fatally struck by a boat. His wife, the former wife of Usher, wants to have the lake drained. She feels that if it's drained, that safety measures could be put in and hopefully others saved. I don't think that will ever happen. This has happened several times. This also powers, I think, electricity for Atlanta, also this lake. It's huge, 60 miles, big one. It's a good thought, but I don't see that ever happening. I mean, 140 feet in some places, I just don't see that happening. But as a mother, you can always see how a mother would always want to do the absolute best so that other children won't get hurt. I see the side of that. They're calling it, I don't even know some of these stories that happen nationwide, and I bring them up just to show you where somewhere out west is happening, or maybe in the north that could possibly happen here. Portland, Oregon, bragging this morning. I mean, bragging. They have Guinness World Book of Records as they have the longest drag show queen ever. It lasted 48 hours. Boy, that's really something to brag about. Yeah, they're solving the world's problems. Joe Biden, whoops, he's done it again, Odie. Trying to go up Air Force One and he trips again. They got to get that little chair that goes up to Air Force One and ride. They're slow, but hey, you won't fall. Death Valley, as we look at temperatures, expected to reach 131 degrees this Sunday. Woo, Death Valley. Don't ever get lost in there. I know a lot of people take vacations. It's hot there. Be careful. Lisa Marie, as we look back on this, as they're really giving now what happened to her. And, of course, she did have some things in her blood that shouldn't have been there, but they're saying what actually killed her was a weight loss surgery that complicated or obstructed her bowels.
Wow.
Now, I'm sure each of y'all have seen that picture of Lisa Marie a couple of weeks before she passed away. Oh, it didn't even look like the same person. But now we know more into this. And as we all know, like you go back to Hank Williams Jr.'s wife who went in for some surgery. She didn't make it through it. She passed away. Be careful of surgeries that you think will either make you look good or lose weight. Sometimes it can be deadly. You'd be better off fat and happy. Does that make sense?
I'm fat and happy.
Me and Odie agree, fat and happy. Hey, we're going to show this morning. Join us. They're picking on Russell Crowe. You remember Mr. Gladiator?
Yeah.
They're picking on him. He's gained a little weight, and they mess with him. We'll show the before and after pictures of. He's just happy. He's 52 and tickled to death to be around.
Made his money.
But they are picking on him some kind of bad. He's still got like a 20-something-year-old hot wife. I mean, the little weight didn't affect her. She's still happy.
Cha-ching.
Odie says cha-ching in the background. We'll be right back. We're going to look at your forecast, tell you exactly what to expect with the weather today. Y'all don't rush off. We'll be right back.
Same old sound, and no one's answering. Vote for change. Vote Ben Shirley, District 81 Representative, on August 8th. Ben will answer the phone. Ben will get answers in Jackson for District 81. Ben will create jobs and promote economic development for East Mississippi.
I'm Ben Shirley, and I'm asking for your vote in the August 8th Republican primary.
Vote Ben, District 81, August 8th. Paid for by Ben Shirley.
The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built in, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group.
Hello, my name's Kenneth Graham, and I'm running for coroner of Lauderdale County. For over 50 years, Lauderdale County's been represented by professional and competent coroners. I would like to continue that tradition. Over the next several months, I want to educate the public on what the coroner does and dispel any myths about the coroner job. I can show you that I will be the most professional coroner there is. So please vote for me August the 8th.
Paid for by the Committee for the Election of Kenneth Graham. Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray as we get up and roll this morning. Good morning to Georgia Walker. And I do hope everybody calls you by your name that you've got listed there. Georgia Carroll. That just has a good southern ring to it. Georgia Carroll. I like that. But when you got in trouble, you heard that a lot. Pat and Jim Coker up today. Joyce Snowden Godwin. How are you? Dot joining us also. LaWanda is up. Gene Elmer. So glad to see y'all. As we talk about severe weather today, as I mentioned, it's going to be just north of the Meridian area. Let's look at this on my radar before we get into what happens with the National Weather Service. As we pull up radar today, here's our line. This is going to be coming across that northeastern corner of Kemper County. Let's turn on locations. Again, this is severe weather. It's a level 1, areas that do not need bad weather. This will cut across Baca Valley on the outskirts of Scuba, cut straight across, take in Cypress Mills. We've got some pictures to show on that, and up through Preston, and then to the area again that really doesn't. This is kind of like the swath that happened yesterday. Downtown Louisville in the line for more bad weather, as well as Macon, Mississippi. I know it always floods in those areas as well, but this is it as we look at today. Let me turn these off as you'll look at the entire state and where this is going. The severe level 2 will be out here in Wichita and Topeka and these areas in Oklahoma City. But again, we don't need this. And we will also have flash flooding. Again, we'll look at what the National Weather Service gives us on those updates. Let's get into that forecast now.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As let's see here, where did that go? It's supposed to be pulled up. And for some reason it didn't. Aha, here we go. I've got my ducks in a row now. Come up. I've had some ghosts floating around in my computer system. I don't know why. As we look at our forecast today, the record highs and record lows, here we are. 1980, whoa, boy, I don't know, remember this. 107 on this date back in 80. My, oh my, our lowest was 1918 where we had a cool 59 today. 107? That's hard to even believe in our area, isn't it? That was the actual thermometer, too, on top of that. Now, as we look at today's forecast for the Meridian area, 94. As we get to Philadelphia, we'll get 93. And even a little bit cooler as you get to Columbus Air Force Base, 91 from there to Starkville as we go south, 95 in the Hattiesburg area. As we glance at Bama, 91, 92 in Tuscaloosa, and even 93 in Birmingham. But rain expected there in Alabama as well. Now, as you're waking up today, this is it. What we just showed on my radar, that timing is going to be 1 until 9 p.m. tonight for severe weather. So late in the afternoon, and we're really expecting that maybe after 3, but we'll watch it. They opened the window up at 1 o'clock. We'll watch it. It's Mother Nature. As we glance across this is Alabama. Damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour could be with this, as we see that they also will have a little bit of severe weather today. Fog. Did you get into any fog coming in?
No, I was good.
You were good. Okay. There's areas here that could see fog through about 9 a.m. So be careful there. These low-lying areas this morning. I hadn't had it pop up on radar yet, but it could happen at any given time. As we glance across here, this is the flooding that we said we didn't need from the National Weather Service late this afternoon into early evening hours, which means through about dark. That 9 o'clock era is what this will be. Included in this, Lauderdale, Clark, areas of Jasper, Newton County, just a little bit of Scott. But as we get into here, Philadelphia and even Kemper County and Winston County, that does not need one drop. You could see 1 to 3 inches of rain before it is over, before this storm passes through. So if you live in an area that you saw some rain and don't want it back in your house, it wouldn't hurt to go ahead and get a few sandbags today and kind of put around the area the best you can. That's my suggestion there. Check with your emergency management team in the county that you live in. They can help you out, can't they, Odie? Heat stress. Look at this. This is what we're expecting today and tomorrow, up to 110. They're already forecasted Meridian, and it could go higher as 105. This will kick off today somewhere around 11 o'clock, last through about 8 tonight. You could almost fry egg outside. It's so hot. My, oh, my, oh, my. Not getting any better as we go across the Bama line there. Look at this, 106 expected in Demopolis and over in Livingston today. Over the weekend, I can't say it's any better. Look at this, Sunday and Monday as we look at this heat stress. Meridian will see the 105 era as you go south into Clark County. Y'all be prepared. You could see elevated heat of 110 tomorrow. Wow. That's Sunday and Monday is what we're looking at there. Now, as we glance across this is the nationwide, and we've seen this creeping across from Texas, and it has arrived to the Mississippi area over the next 6 to 10 days into Alabama as well. We pull this up, our 7-day forecast today, 93 with a 70% chance of those thunderstorms. Could be severe for some of our friends. Down to a 30% chance tomorrow, back up to a 50 on Sunday and Monday, and then we get slight chances from Tuesday to Thursday. It's still, you can get a sprinkle, but it's not bad weather. Thank heavens it's finally starting to slow down a little bit there. As we go all the way through the 28th, we'll see some 80s after we reach the 26th. But look at Friday the 21st, 97 degrees is expected, sunshine and hot. Again, by the end of this on the 28th, we got a good chance of showers and about 88. That's why it's a little bit cooler on that date. Don has formed. We'll watch this closely. It's just basically going to go up and curl, not affecting anybody. It'll stay in the ocean. We'll watch it. One of the first named storms of the season, but it's staying way away from the Gulf. Thank heavens there. As we look at our fishing forecast, what does Chet tell us today? The major time, 10 o'clock. Be there. Be ready until noon. You can beat the rain. It'll be perfect to fish if you can handle the heat. Check it all out there. Wind's going to be light and variable, becoming west 5 to 10 this morning as we look at those fishing forecasts. That's what we have. Already, 11 minutes away from the top of the hour. We're coming up with the morning show. In just a few moments, we're going to get our coffee ready, come back and have you a great show. Join us beginning at 7 right here at Facebook, YouTube, if you're watching there, Twitter, or join us on television. Do that. Fox 30 is where it's all happening here with us, and we can't do it without y'all. We'll be right back in just a few moments. Be safe and God bless.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.